Welcome to AFSA's Industry Icon Series. I'm Danielle Fagre Arlowe from AFSA. Today we're joined by Suzi Straffon, Director of Finance Company Markets for Allied Solutions. Welcome, Suzi. Thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you, Danielle. I'm so happy to be here. It's always a pleasure to talk with you.
You too. Well, for people who don't know you, tell us a little bit about how you ended up in the consumer credit industry.
You bet. So I've been fortunate enough to work in this industry for about 20 years. I'm not sure where that time went, but started as really a newbie on the vendor side, mostly in the F&I space. After I graduated from Michigan State University, go Spartans, I had a couple stints in PR, which kind of went along with my degree in journalism and my master's in PR and advertising. So after a couple stints there, I made my way over to Route One, which is still in existence today, doing very well. They are a software company that supports indirect lending process through the credit application management system that they run. And I was there for about 11 years as the marketing director, and it was really there that I made the contacts that I still have today, both on the dealer and lender side, and really got sort of entrenched in this market. I didn't know the industry, I didn't know the language, but organizations like AFSA helped me immerse myself in that culture and really learn. So that was wonderful. And then after about 11 years there, I made my way over to Exeter Finance. So I was on the lender side, which was neat. And sort of able to really understand that complex world of subprime financing and especially on the origination side, assessing that risk and how the contracts are purchased and making customers happy. And so it opened my eyes to really the needs of a lender on that side. So that was pretty cool. And from there, I entered the relatively new world of risk and recovery solutions, found my way to Allied Solutions, which I can truly say is the most amazing company I've ever been with. And where I hope to retire when that day comes, which won't be for a while. So I've served as the director of finance company markets for almost 4 years there. And in that role, I sort of manage the strategic activities of our risk and recovery suite of tools, which includes Repo Plus, which is our damage repo claim service, and Refund Plus, which is our product cancellation solution, as well as many more. So all that's brought me here. So excited about our future and how we can continue to serve lenders and make our way in that space. And it's really just been a blessing. So again, I can't believe that time has passed so quickly, but here we are.
I'm going to ask you about your mentor in a minute, your mentors, but something you said just made me wonder. I feel like when we're talking about issues through our interaction at AFSA, you have a lot of ideas for products and stuff. Is that part of your job, or is that just your innate is that your innate creativity?
Well, it's probably both, but I think my creativity is enabled by the wonderful staff there at Allied. I mean, we all work together very collaboratively to try to think of what we can do in the space to improve our lenders' business. And so I think just all that prior experience, in a marketing role, you kind of touch everything, right? So I think that's opened my eyes to a lot of ways that we can continue to try to help our lenders and develop products that will make a difference and an impact. I don't know that I'm a super creative person, but I have creative people around me, so that helps.
You bring them the ideas and then they go with it. I love it. So Suzi, who outside of your family, who in your life do you view as a main influence or mentor?
It's a great question. There's been a lot, and I try to take bits and pieces of things that I've learned from different people in my life that I've run into, whether it's, for a short period of time or a long period of time. I think everybody has great value to provide if we're open to learning, what they have to say and how they live their lives. I've really enjoyed my time at Allied because there are supportive people there who are truly interested in helping you grow and helping you learn without being super critical and making you feel like you've made a mistake or you've, done this or that. It's been very collaborative, as I said, and help, this is all to help you grow. My previous boss, George Brewster, amazing guy. And, I was quite nervous when I started this position. And he said, people want your leadership. People need the kind of leadership that you bring, whatever it is. I think we try to spend a lot of time, particularly as women, trying to fit ourselves into this corporate mold, which may or may not be appropriate, but there's personality traits that all of us have that make us unique. And sometimes when you're in the corporate world, you feel like there's no space for that. And there is. And he really kind of opened my eyes to that. And my current boss, John Dennison, too, the same thing, they want your leadership. They want the guidance that you bring. People are looking for a leader. So be that leader. You can do it. And that really hit home with me. And it's been something that I actually put on my vision board here too, so that I follow that every day. So that's been great.
I love that you have a vision board. I need a vision board. I think of how much more I could get done. I love it.
It's fun. Mostly I stare at it and think I should be doing that and that and that, but it's a helpful reminder. So it's good.
Well, whether it was from your mentors or from someone else, what is the single best piece of career advice you've received?
One thing that I have heard, which I think is great, I don't know if it's necessarily career advice, but it's something to keep in perspective when you're dealing with people, is that people don't reserve their behavior just for you. So whether that's good or bad, if you're feeling slighted or you're feeling, offended or whatever by something someone has told you or view someone in a certain way, you can be pretty sure it's probably not you and it's something to do with that person, and you shouldn't take offense and just kind of roll with it. That has helped me to avoid taking a lot of things personally, which I tend to do. So I think that's been very valuable. And then also just, there's so many things that are important, and we could focus on all those things that are important. But what is the thing that's going to make the most difference today? Like, what can we do today that's going to be so impactful and make a difference that we don't get lost in all this other stuff that's kind of floating around? And that sort of helps me when I get, lost in the shuffle of business life. So those are probably the two most impactful pieces of advice.
The first item you mentioned reminds me of how I would answer the next question. What advice would you give to your 22-year-old self? Because I would tell myself, don't take it personally. It's not you, It's them. I mean, if you've got lots of problems with lots of people, eventually you have to say, is it me? But
right.
But usually it's them. So is that the advice you give your 22-year-old self, or what would you tell yourself then?
Oh boy, how much time do we have? There's a long list of things, but yeah, I think that would be something. Really, both things. I mean, the thing that sticks out to me most is that that there's room for everybody, and there's room for everybody somewhere. You just have to find your spot and make your spot. As I mentioned before, I think we all try to fit ourselves into this corporate mold and emulate what we see. And that's good. That's good in a lot of ways. But I think sometimes we kind of tamp down our personality traits in doing that. And, that's not why people hire us. They hire us because we're smart, talented people. And we have to make our way and find things that we're good at and find ways to inspire people. And there's only one me and there's only one you. And we have to work with that and make the most of it. And just be confident. I mean, that's probably number one. I still struggle with that. I had confidence about the wrong things when I was starting. So now I think I'm better at that. But yeah, just be confident and know that there's a spot and you don't have to conform to be that person.
Looking into your crystal ball, and you've got a unique crystal ball because of your constant interaction with various people in the industry. So looking into your crystal ball, how would you predict the consumer credit industry will change in the next 5 to 10 years? What do you see on the distant horizon?
I don't have any specific area where I can speculate on that. What I do think, though, from having seen what we went through with COVID, the adaptability and the change to not only the way that consumers are sort of demanding what they want, and the way that dealers and lenders are, I don't want to say catering, but adjusting to those needs. And sort of the inventory switch, and how dealerships are kind of working with the more tailored, made to order models versus just stocking up on inventory hoping somebody's going to buy it. I think those those continued adaptations to the environment and where we've been, with inflation and rates and all of that, and just being able to change. I mean, we were all really forced to change in a very short period of time, to adjust to the demands of COVID, and I just kind of see that adaptability continuing, but growing more quickly, if that makes sense. I think this industry has been slow to change a lot unless we're, against a wall. And so I think we've proved to ourselves that we can change when it's demanded of us, and we can do so quickly. And so I think that pace is going to continue to accelerate. And we'll see where that takes us. It's been interesting, that's for sure.
Thank you so much for listening to AFSA's Industry Icon series. We appreciate you being here. Subscribe to AFSA's Extra Credit podcast wherever you get your podcasts.